Welcome to the ice turning experience. Something you can't define, but you can only experience this through me. Speaking of experiences, as I've stated before, that a purpose-driven life or a vision-based life, chalked up with action steps to completion, and vision manifestation can all be traced back to mapping out your thinking. And those that are fully capable of mapping out the process of their thoughts can naturally govern themselves in a way that even the most adverse conditions won't have any type of ailment or effect. There will be many things opposing it, many things formed against your thinking, but it won't have any effect if it's mapped out correctly. In fact, it's the adversity circumstances that mold and shape your perspective. It's kind of like the clay on the spinning wheel. With those ordeals, they actually help you to discover your underlying motive, your why. So your why is also your key to stability. A purpose-driven life is based on stability. When people say a better version of themselves or a better life or the a vision-based manifestation is built on your why, built on your clarity. Remember what I said before, everything is according to the pigment of your lens. Being able to see things from a 20/20 vantage point. Muttered thoughts or scattered thoughts, not only, lead you to, scattered conversation, but also scattered actions. All throughout my life, one of the things I've been privy to is, learning from, various, people that, that I admired, in all walks of life. And, what I discovered was that they all have the same rhyme or reason, one way or another. Maybe in a different way, but it's the same, if it makes any sense to you. Some very valuable lessons with that. One of the things I learned that they were able and capable, fully capable of, being able to adapt to things and to adjust. And, exercising their fortitude. It's that process of, fight and flight, It's all about how you respond to, pressure. These were people that were able to see things through completion. clarity is your anchor. And being able to, map out your thoughts in clarity will lead you to, further manifestation of things, taking shape. One of the things I've also discovered that, you look at two people, right? Failure and success comes from, discipline, an undisciplined way of thinking, anything obtained, in your life is through discipline. Anything lost or anything never gained is through the lack of discipline. Now, it's funny because it's kind of like that painting. When you see a painting, you don't necessarily understand, the picture in its entirety. It doesn't really make any sense to you in the process, because if you look at it like this, the two people, right? The tale of two stories, or tale of two cities, right? You have one guy that makes good decisions, makes good split decisions, being able to, adapt and adjust. And you have the other guy that doesn't. But the circumstances look, pretty similar. Because it looks like the one guy is failing, even though he's making good decisions. And you got the other guy that's, making, poor decisions. It's just based on poor self-concept, poor self-esteem, and poor sense of self, as well as identity, as well as discipline, many other things. And it looks like the other guy, it appears that he's having the same ordeal, the same outcome, but he's actually failing forward. One guy's, failing forward into success. The other guy is just, scaling back and regressing. See, everything happens through compound interest. A lot of people think that where people end up is based on big decisions, where it's really based on small decisions you make. Those small micro decisions in the split moment is what, lead you to certain, places and spaces. And another thing that I really took heed, in my witnessing is that, how they, made initial judgments. And I'm talking about the people that, I was mentored by, and just really just looking at their, their thinking habits, their thinking patterns, and how they set things up, as that saying, never, despise small beginnings. And the reason why you never despise small beginnings is because there's no such thing as a small beginning. It's a beginning, then there's an ending. There's no big ending or small ending. It's just an ending, completion. Then it's, on to the next task, on to the next play, on to the next situation. Got to keep that in mind, And you have to understand that, thinking is, not something that, it's easy. Albert Einstein said it's work. In fact, it's incredibly hard work to map out your process of thoughts and your thinking, and bringing it to, first clarity, then bring it to fruition. It's hard work. That's why very few people do it. You know, due to the, fear, the fear of knowing. Because, with knowing comes awareness, and with awareness comes responsibility. Your ability to respond. Responsibility is hard work as well. And that's why most people don't want to do that. But it's the thing about, disorder. With disorder, when it occurs, it often, can be tied to your refusal to, plan or, prioritize, things. So you have to decide, within every minute, within every hour, the purpose of your outcome every day. You put yourself in a position to produce results and to, lead yourself into a better outcome, through mapping out your thought process as well as your decision making. It's the alignment of that math. And the alignment of that math is what? Wisdom, order, and beauty. That's the significance to a thing. See, by, mapping out your thought processes, right? You can actually predict the impact of something, right? That has to be put in order. You can see the order in the chaos. You can see the forest through the trees. In fact, the more, I would say, developed you are in mapping out your, your thinking process, you develop your emotional stability. And when you develop your emotional stability, you are, inclined into your intuition. And it's the intuitiveness, right?
My advice would be define who you are and what you are and be clear on that. Meditate on that. And then live and die by it. You can't break the rules, the fundamental rules. Be a man of your word. Do what you say you're going to do. Respect